right, so we're going to be creating a really beautiful little sunset with some palm trees. You will need some blue, just the primary colors, blue, red, and yellow. We'll be creating our own orange. We'll be creating our own purple. You will need white, and you will also need black for part 2 for the palm trees. You will need a handy dandy flat brush, and you will need some type of a liner brush. I have a couple here. I have one that's a little bigger than the other, but you can just use one liner brush. But you need a smaller brush to create those palms on the palm tree. Okay, the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to pick up some yellow, and we are going to go about the center of our little canvas. And again, it doesn't matter how big or small your canvas is. You're just going to do the same steps, bigger or smaller. And I'm going to lay in some yellow. This is the bottom of the sky and the top of the horizon. Now I'm going to take some yellow, and my sun's going to be somewhere in the center here. So I want the brightest part of the water, because now I'm going to go down into where the water is going to be. And I'm just going to very randomly place some yellow. Okay, so now I am going to place some orange on the sides. This is the water, all the colors of the sky reflecting in the water. So I'm going to create some lighter orange. All I did was take a little bit of red into my yellow. And I'm going to kind of put that horizon line here. You want to leave it really bright right here in the center. This is the very tippy part of the horizon line. And now I'm just going to kind of pull this orange down to make it look like I'm going to make these little horizontal strokes to automatically give us all those values in there, the darker orange, the lighter orange, and the water. Because all of the colors from the sky would be reflecting in the water. And you want to make sure you cover up all that white. Beautiful. You want to kind of put the brush on the tippy toes, because you want like these little streaks. You want to make sure that you have like these little streaky lines. Make sure you get all of your canvas colored. You want to kind of blend that orange into that yellow very randomly, almost like little zigzags. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to pick up some red, and I'm going to go up into the sky. And I didn't even clean my brush. That's okay. I can have some of that orange on there. All of these colors are warm colors, so they blend very nicely. I'm going to pull some of that orange down as if there's clouds, but I'm going to leave that center really bright. I don't want to do anything in that center. I'm going to come back and add white in there. Perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of red here for my horizon line, because way back there is going to be a little bit darker. Not where that sun is in the water, but right in here is going to be a little bit darker. I really want to make sure that you can see my horizon line and my sky. I'm just going to add a little bit of red in here to add a different value in this water. A tiny bit of red. And look how I'm just taking my brush and I'm making these little horizontal strokes. Very good. All right. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue, not too much. Blue is very rich. You just want a little bit of blue. I'm going to go a little bit above that red. Oh, and I might need to clean my brush because I'm getting some green, and that's okay. I'm getting some green. So I'm going to clean my brush because I have that yellow in that brush. All right, I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue, and then I'm going to pull it right down into that red. And I just kind of want a little bit of a dark sky. You want to kind of keep pulling it down. You don't want that hard line, crisp hard line. You want to just keep pulling it down. That's okay. You want it kind of dark up here. That value, the light and dark look really good next to each other. I'm just doing these little strokes up here. I want to clean my brush off really good. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of my yellow just to kind of blend this out. And I'm just going to go across here. I'm just creating this beautiful sunset sky. If you want to add a little bit of red up in that blue, you'll make it a little more purple. If you just want to do that and pretend like you've got some clouds up in here, you can do that. Just kind of streak that across. And again, if you want to blend it out, you just want to kind of pick up the lighter color, so either orange or yellow. And I'm just going to blend that out. I don't want any brush strokes to show. I'm just going to blend that all the way up till I get it really nice and smooth. And that's okay. This looks like clouds over on the side. All right. So I'm going to add a little more orange down in here. I'm going to clean my brush. And I'm going to pick up some yellow on its tippy toes, and I'm just going to do like this little motion right here in the center and blend that orange and that yellow. I want to make this really nice and uneven, very random. I'm just adding some yellow, and I'm just doing the strokes right here. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to show you how to lay these palm trees. All right, so before I lay in my trees, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some white on my brush, and I'm just going to create like an illusion that there is a sun right back in here. I'm just going to do those same kind of horizontal strokes, and I'm going to put that white right down, and I'm going to blend those edges out. I don't want any hard lines with the white. I'm just going to kind of blend that out so I've got this really bright part of my sunset. Very nice. You can even put a little bit. I think I'm going to make mine really bright in here. It's almost like I'm doing these little zigzags. That's the stroke. That's the look we're going for here. Just these little zigzags. I'm just going to add a little bit of highlights on the water. Perfect. All right. So now we have a really bright spot where the sun is going down. All right, so now we're going to lay in those trees. So I want you to clean your brush. You're going to need a clean brush because we need black. Now we're just going to be working with our black. And what I want you to do is I want you to come down to the bottom, and I want you to create a little, we've got to have something for the palm trees to sit on. So I'm going to come down at the bottom, and you just want to do your little shape here. You don't want it to be perfect. I think I want a little shape like this. And I'm going to fill that in black. This is what my little palm trees are going to be sitting on. All right. So now I think I want 3 palm trees. So what you're going to do is the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to think about where you want them. You need to get your little black brush. We're going to be using it on its tippy toes. Okay. And what we're going to be doing is I want you to be thinking about where you want your trees. I think I want one over here, and kind of one in the middle. So I'm going to put it on its tippy toes, and I'm going to go up. Now remember, trees get skinnier as it goes up. So you want to kind of let up off of it as you go towards the top, and you don't want them to be too tall. We want them no bigger than maybe the center of your paper. So now maybe I want one, and you don't want them all perfectly straight. Maybe I want this one bent just a little. Again, I'm going to make it thicker at the bottom, so I'm actually going to press down a little harder down here at the bottom. I want it thick at the bottom. I'm going to pull that little tree trunk out like a little A, like I'm doing an A, a capital A. And then I think I want one curving, let's see. I want one over here, and I want it to kind of curve that way. Add some interest here. All right, now I am going to pick up my smaller brush, this one right here. And what you want to do, palm trees almost have like they almost look like a spider. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the center and you're going to make almost like spider legs. Almost like you're making a spider. All right. And you want maybe 5, maybe you want 5 on each one. So I'm going to bring one and I'm going to curve this one in. And again, they're going to get really small as you get to the tip. I'm going to do some little spider legs out, and I think I want each one to have about 5. Put a little one to make it look like it's way out there. 1. Again, you're making almost like spider legs. Curve that around. All right. So now we're going to create the palms, and in order to create the palms, you're just going to go on the side and very gently, I didn't even grab any more paint, and I'm just going to do these little random zigzags at the bottom, and I'm going to pull them forward at the top, and you want that texture on the ends, almost like feathers. I'm going to pull it down. It takes very little paint because we kind of want the little scratchy look, and they're kind of thicker towards the top of the center of the tree, and they get thinner at the bottom. So I'm just pulling down some, and I'm curving these. I'm pulling it down along that line, and I'm going up and out. I'm pulling it down, and I'm pulling it up on the top. I'm making sure it's really nice and thick towards the center of the tree. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in the center. And I'm going to make sure that all of my little palm trees are thick towards the center. I'm going to pick up some more paint for my next tree. And again, I'm doing these little wispies. I'm making it thicker towards the center of the tree. Pull them out, almost like big, gigantic leaves. You want to add that little wispy texture at the end, though. Out. That one's overlapping and going into that tree, and that's okay. Out on the top, I'm curving them down in the same direction as the little branch that I made. And I'm just doing these little wispies. Perfect. Do the same thing here. Now this is a shorter one, but it's the same thing. It's going to be thick at the front, and you can even extend, like I pulled that out some. You can do that. Pull them down. I'm just doing these little lines, and I'm curving them in the same direction as the branch. Same thing on this side. I didn't use a whole lot of paint because I need it to give me that texture, the little fuzzy texture on the ends, the scratchy look. Again, I'm going in the direction of I might need to pull up a little more paint. I'm going in the direction of the branch. On the top and on the bottom. Make sure you go in and fill in these centers. There we go. The direction of the branch. And I'm going to get really thin on the ends. You can even kind of pull some to make sure it's really thin and pointy on the ends. And maybe I've got one coming off here, the page. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to fill in that center of that tree. And this is where you can just go back and look and see where you want to fix if it don't quite look right. Put my branch in there. And when you are done, you should have something that looks about like this. If you would like to go back and maybe do some more in your sky, maybe I want to add a little more blue up here just to kind of really bring it out up at the top. Add some more contrast. Maybe I want it to look like some little clouds are off in that background. I'm just kind of doing this little texture here, just up and down with my brush. All right, I hope you had fun. When you're done, you should have something that looks about like this.